Okay. No. So we'll start with what was our last class concept? Hmm? What is that? Hmm? I'm not getting you. What is the last class concept? Data members. Data members. Data members. Data members. Data members. What data members? Huh? Types of in class of Python. Types of data members. Types of data members in class of Python. Adi topic. Data members. Data members. What are the data members? Hmm? So let us move to the further. How many types of data members are there? Two types. Number one, instance data members. Okay. How many ways are there to define instance data members? Three ways. Number one, through an object inside instance method inside constructor. How many ways are there to access instance methods? Two ways. Object name dot instance data member name, self dot instance data member name. That we will discuss today. How many ways are there to define class level data members? Two ways. One is inside of class definition, inside of main program, inside of class level method. Syntax also class name dot class level method name and CLS dot class level data member name. So these are the this we will discuss today. So I will go to today one more continuation process. Go to the program. So I will go to one more example on instance data members. Then I will go to the methods. So let me close this. Close this project. So open it. 11 a.m. Oops. These are our examples we discussed in the last class. If you remember, these are the instance data members we discussed in the last class. Okay. This place. So here we are keeping some fixed data here, right? We are keeping some fixed data. We are keeping some fixed data and we are displaying here. We are keeping some fixed data and we are displaying. Here also, if you look at, we are keeping some fixed data. I want to go for dynamic data. So when we run this code, we are getting the fixed data, we are getting it. Fixed data, we are getting it. But we want to get it what? Dynamic data, I want to get it. So how to get the dynamic data? So that is our topic today. So let us move to the further. I want to go for dynamic data. Online students carefully understand. That will make us to go for today's concept is types of methods in a class. So today's concept is types of methods in a class. Very, very important topic. Types of methods. Types of methods in a class of Python. So before going to that, I would like to tell you one more example of this area. So instance data members example 3.py. Instance data members example 3.py. Very, very important. 3.py. So there I would like to carry the same code. Here I'm going to write it. In this case, you try to observe 3.py. So class main method ID. Anyhow, you are already aware of it. Two objects we are getting created. There I'm going to talk about it. I want to read the first student data. How do you read? Two objects are available. I want to read the data for two objects. How do you read two objects here? I will go for writing here something like this. Int of, int of, input of, enter, enter, first student number. Enter first student number. Similarly, I want to go for enter first student number. Next, I will go to input of input of enter first student name. Here, I will take it float of float of input of enter first student enter first student marks. First student marks. I'm going to take it. So these are the details what we got it. Here SNO, name, marks are cut. Anything object dot member name is known as what? Instance data members. This is what we read dynamically. Similarly, I would like to go for enter second object data, enter second student object data. So there I will write it. In this case, I would like to take up this place. Here I will write it. Enter second student number. Enter second student number. I am going to take it. Enter first student name. Here I am going to write it. Here I am going to write it. Enter second student name. Second student name. Next, enter second student marks. Enter second student marks. So I'm going to take. So students, here I'm going to write it. Enter second student marks. So I'm going to take up. Students, these are all called what again? Instance data members here. Instance data members again. So now students, in this case, display the content of each student. First student data I'm printing. Second student data also I'm printing. So try to run this code. So I'm going to take up enter first student number 1000. Enter the name of the student, something like Rosam. So here I will go for 45.67. Enter the second student number 2000. Travis here. Now I'm going to take it 56.78. So we are going to get it. First student data I got it. Second student data I got it. First student data I got it. And then second student data I got it. That indicates this is called a dynamic data. Right? Did you understand this? Now, so my conclusion of this code is if you want to take it, class level data members also, if you want to take it, you can take class level data members example also. Already there is a instance and class level data member. Already there is something here. If you want any class level data member, if you want to introduce, here I will take it. This also I will post it 2.py. With the dynamism, if you want to take it, I will carry this entire thing. In this place, I will write it. In this case, so here I would like to carry the question and all those things. Here I would like to place it. In this case, I'll post this question now. In this case, post it. 2.py, this place. Here I will write it. What should I do? CRS is equal to Python. Here CRS is called class level data member. Class level data member. Class level data member. Well, students, here I read the data while I am printing it. As I already said to you, you can also print it as \t. What is this now? Student course. Student course is equal to, you can write it. What is this now? Student dot what? CRS. Student dot CRS, I am going to write it. Student dot CRS, class name dot. Here also I am writing student dot CRS, I am going to write it. Try to run this now. So I'm going to write it. Enter the number 1, something like Balaji. So I'm writing Balaji. Here I'm writing some 55.55. This is a number we got it. So 20 I'm writing here. Something like student name is called Vishnu. Vishnu Vardhan. Then next is called some 66.66. So got it. So Balaji and then both. Both of them are which course only? Same student course only we got it. So this is comes under what? Class level data members also. So how many values are there in S1? How many values are there in S1? 3 or 4? 4, 5, 6, 7, 3. How many? 3. It is saying 4. Yesterday, significantly said in the class, length I measured. Length. Did you remember the length? So how many are there in S1? Only 3. But this one is not a part of object. I was already measured in the form of length and all those things printed. So this course is not a part of the object. So finally, we understood data members here. Now I am going to enter. Online students, is this example is clear? Dynamically read, class level data members, everything is available. Next student, today I am entering into types of methods. Very, very important again. Students, now I am going to enter into similar manner. What is the use of data members? What is the use of data members? To store the data. So one is object level data members, one is before the object level data members, common for all the objects. So classified like that. Similarly, in a class of Python, we can define two types of methods. Two types of methods you can define. They are number one, I'm going to talk about it. Number one, I'm going to talk about it. Instance method. Instance methods. Number two, I'm going to talk about class level methods. Class level methods, I'm going to talk about it. So the first one I'm going to talk about what? Instance method I'm going to talk. Instance methods I'm going to talk about it. So there I'm going to talk about it. Instance methods. Similarly, class level methods also I'm going to talk. Remember students, straightforward you apply. Instance methods will do the operations on instance data members. Straightforward. Class level data members are operating on class level data members. So, instance data members are available on what? Available in where? Object. Already last class I said. Instance data members are available in object. So, who instance methods, so instance data members are having bonding. So instance data members are available in the object level data members. On object level of data members, who will perform the operations? Instance methods will perform. So object data is a specific or common? Object data is a specific or common? Specific. So instance methods will do the operations on what data? Object data. So definitely object level operations are specific or common? So specific operations performed by instance methods. So I'm going to write it. So what is the purpose of instance methods? Simple. The purpose of instance methods is that to perform hmm, what operations? Specific operations. Specific operations or object level operations. Object level operations. Specific operations on, I will write directly on instance data members of instance. Instance data members of data members of object. Instance data members of object. And hence instance methods. Instance methods. Instance methods are called instance methods are called object level methods. Which methods they are? Object level methods. Instance methods are called object level methods. Are you able to follow now? Instance methods are called object level methods. So how to define this instance method? I'm going to. At the same time, I want to write opposite part also. Class level methods are used for class level methods. The purpose of class level methods, straightforward, performing common operations, common operations on all class level data members, on class level data members, class level data members, class level data members. That's all of And hence, of course, that entire thing I need not to write it. They are also called as which level methods only? Class level methods. Because they are performing operations on, right, common operations, nothing but like this. Irrespective of, irrespective of, I already written it, irrespective of number of objects we have. Common operations are providing for all the objects of same class, irrespective of number of objects of each class, same class. Number of objects of each class, same class. How to define instance method? I will show the example also. First, let me complete the topic. The instance method programmatically, programmatically, I am going to write it programmatically. Instance methods. The first positional parameter of instance method must be always supposed to be taken as a self. Instance methods, instance methods must take, instance methods must take, what I should must take. First positional formal parameter. First positional formal parameter. You know, positional parameters. First positional formal parameter is what? Self. Self. So syntax I am going to write it. What is the syntax I am writing here? You see. Syntax I am going to write it. What is the syntax here? DEF. What is this now? Instance method. Instance method of instance method name. That is nothing but after all our normal functions only. I will write it here. Self comma. What is the self? I will explain to you. List of formal parameters, if any. List of formal parameters, if any. Inside of it, what type of statements I will write? Block of statements. Block of statements performs specific operation, specific operations, and also meant for it specify what also specify the instance data member C1. Instance data member C1. So I'll write instance data members. So I will write something like this. I'll write something like this. This is one thing. So how do you access this instance methods? All the instance methods, all the instance methods can be accessed with respect to the following syntax. With respect to the following syntax. Following syntax. What is the syntax here? I am going to take it. Syntax number one, same. Syntax number one. What is that? Object name dot. Once you prepared yesterday for instance data member, this is easy to write. What I will write it? Instance method name. Instance method name I will write it. Syntax number two. Syntax number two. I will write it. Self dot instance method name. Instance method name. Where to write this? This is to be written in, to be used, to be used inside of, inside of which method? Instance method name only. Instance method name only. I will write only. I will go to the example. Similarly, I will go to this place also. Let me complete. Class level methods here. Programmatically, class level methods. Here I am writing something more important programmatically. Class level methods, class level methods must be preceded with a predefined decorator, predefined decorator. Already decorator concept is completed at the rate, preceded with a predefined decorator called at the rate class method and and must and it must take, it must take first positional parameter as what? CLS. Syntax I am going to tell. Syntax. At the rate, here I am going to write syntax. At the rate class method, I am going to write it DEF class level method name, class level method name, of CLS, comma, list of formal parameters, list of formal parameters. So followed by, I will take like this. Here I'm going to write it. Block of statements, block of statements performs what operation? Common operations, common operations. And I will write it. What is this now? Specifies, specifies what? Class level data member, class level data members. So let me go to this. And not only here, in multi-threading, we will use in multiple places, you will use this method. And 99% of the time, total Python library contains what only? Self-related methods only will be available. మీకు example కూడా చూపించేస్తాను. I'll go to this class level methods. The alternative name in other languages are called static methods. Static methods also we can call. They are also called as static methods. Go to the place, you go to the Python environment. For you to understand, only one method name I can tell, but there is a chance of asking. So something like help of dictive, help of dictive. All of you, you try to see students what is available here. Self only will be there. Multiple places there is a self, clear of, copy of, self, everywhere else there is a self. Are you saying this now? Self only will be available. Everywhere else there is a self only. There is a self only. Class level methods are there. And there are something like this. Class level methods in older names, we call it as what? Static methods. Even in Java also, if you take, there is a static keyword we will use. But in Python, we call it as at the rate class method. So students, you are understanding how do you call them? Here we are calling something like this. So in this place, how you can call it? In Python programming, all class level methods can be accessed with the following syntaxes. What is the syntax here? Syntax number one. What is the syntax number one here? Class name dot, class name dot. I am going to write it. Class level method name. Class level method name of. I am writing. Syntax number two, I am going to take. What is the syntax number two? CLS dot class level method name I am going to take. Class level method name I am going to write. This is supposed to be used in, here I mentioned it, to be used in instance method only, to be used in inside of where? Class level method. Class level method. Here I am writing class level method name. I am going to use it. So this is a concept part, students. Let me go to one by one in the class. What is self? All those things. Here, after a few minutes, I will tell about what is self. Very, very important question in interview point of view. What is self? To be understandable here. What is CLS also you are supposed to understand in other place. So here, what is a CLS also you are supposed to understand at this level. What is CLS also? We get it. Okay. Start. Go to today's requirement is what? Observe. This program you observe once again. I created two data members here, students. Two data members I was created here. So after creating two objects, we are reading two data members here. Values we are reading for S1. Values we are reading for S2. So you observe it, two objects are created. For filling the data in S1, I am writing three statements. To read the data for S2, again I am writing the two statements only. Totally how many statements I wrote it? 6. So if I am having 10 objects, 10 object, one object is taking how many lines? 3 lines. The another object is also having what? 3 lines. So 10 objects will contain how many lines? 30 lines of code, which is called waste of time. How do you reduce the redundancy of the code? Observe, for S1, I want to read the data for S1. 3 lines of code I written. For S2 also I wrote 3 lines of code. Is it not redundancy of the code? How do you reduce the redundancy of the code? How do you reduce the redundancy of the code in Python? Hmm? By గట్టిగా చెప్తే వినిపిస్తుంది నాకు. By using functions. By using functions. Fifth advantage of functions is eliminating the redundancy of the code. So I'm going to use it instead of writing the same thing multiple times. I want to reduce my code here. That can be done by the concept of functions. How do you write functions in whoops? That are called methods. Are there methods? Go to the place. Now I'm entering into some documentation here. Paint. I'm going to talk about it. Let us observe now. So I'm taking one object. Which object I am creating? S1 is equal to. Here I am writing S1 is equal to student of. I am going to write a student of. This is called a student of. One more object I will take it. This is called S2 is equal to. This is I am writing S2 is equal to student of. I am going to write it. S2 is equal to student of. I am going to write it. Are you following? Now, because of this S1, what will happen? S1 is object is created. Online students, carefully try to listen. I'm giving a systematic diagrammatic representation. Try to follow. This is called S1. S1. Here I'm going to take it S1. There I will take it. S1 is here. This is an S1 object. This is an S1 object. In this S1 object, I am going to write it in this place. Here the address is called what? XXX123. XXX123. There I'm going to write it. So in this case, I'm taking S2. S2 I'm taking. In this S2, I'm going to write it. Here also I'm going to write XXX what? 567. What is this 567 and all those things are called IDs. Understand? This is called ID. So this is an ID here. This is an ID is available here. S2 ID is different. S1 ID is different. Now I decided to read what? Number, name, marks. Here number, name, marks. I don't want to write 3 lines here. I don't want to write 3 lines here. I don't want to make 6 lines. Okay. I want to write how many lines only? 3 lines only. The 3 lines will be applicable for this. These 3 lines will be applicable for this. In order to apply these 3 lines, what is the major important factor to differentiate? ID. What is the difference? ID. If this ID will go to these 3 lines will read the data for S1. These 3 lines will read the data for S2 based on what? ID. So how do you take this ID? In terms of a variable called what? Self. In terms of a variable called what? Self. So try to understand in the class called student. First time I am defining. Be careful. Class student. Inside the student, I am defining what is the class? DEF. Get STUD data. Get STUD data. Be careful. Inside of that, something I will write it. Don't worry about it. Get STUD data. So here get STUD data is called what? How can I recognize this is an instance method? Number one, there is no at the rate class method. Do you have at the rate class method here? Definitely it is which method? Instance method. So to recognize something whether it is an instance method or class level method, there is some type of syntax notations they gave. At the rate class method is there, that is called which method? Class level method. Here we don't have at the rate class method. Definitely it is what method? Instance method. Instance methods are for the name itself says instance means what? Particular. So I want to read the data for what? S1. So to read the data for S1, call the method with respect to what? S1. Call the method with respect to what? S1. How do you call? S1 dot, come on faster. Get STUD data. STUD data. This is known as what? Method call. Method call. Similarly, you call it as what? Here also, you call it as, in this case, what is this now? S2 dot, I am going to write it. S2 dot get data. So, the moment when you say S1 dot get student data, the moment when you call S1 dot get student data, what will happen? How the PVM get student data called with respect to S1. S1 is an object of student class. It goes to student class looking for which method? Get student data. Get student data. So inside I will read the data for what? S1, inside S2, inside S3. So what is the major factor to know about this S1 only? So that method has to know about which address? S1 address. So in simple word, the moment when you call S1 dot get student data, the PVM will go to student class by carrying the address of S1. That S1 will be stored as what? First positional parameter in this method. In the detailed part, get student data method called with respect to S1. S1 is an object of student class. Control goes to student class. While going, PVM will carry what? Address of what? That object 1, 2, 3. That address is going to be put it into the first positional formal parameter. What is the first positional formal parameter to be written? Self. Self. Very, very important. What is the self contains? Address of current object. What is my current object? S1. What is my current object? S1. S1 address is present in where? Self. So earlier how I was called data members S1 dot SNO, ikkada S1 dot SNO, S1 dot SNAME, S1 dot marks. Now how you will call here? How you will call here? Self dot SNO. Self dot SNO is equal to what the self contains? Address of S1. So self dot means what? S1 dot. S1 dot. So what is the self? First positional formal parameter which contains address of what? Current object. What is my current object? S1 is equal to, I will write that statement. Which statement I will write it? This one. This one I will write it. So here I will write this statement here. In this place I will write it. Student, try to understand. Here I will write it. Enter student number I wrote it. So I hope that you try to follow me. You try to follow me. I'll try to take little bit like this. Enter the student number. You got it. Is it clear? Huh? So that is present in where? S1 or S2? Still, I want to read the name. Come on, how do you read the name? Self dot name. Self dot name is equal to, how do you write it? Input of enter what? Name. Enter which name? Student name. So I'm writing enter student name. So you are writing input of enter student name. So I hope you are getting it. Enter student name. You are getting it. Next I want to get it what? Self dot. What is this? Marks is equal to float of input of input of enter student marks. Enter student marks. Got it. Self dot marks is equal to float of input of marks. So I got it. Tell me, this is called what? Whenever I called like this, because this is where student will get a confusion first. Actually, you are not passing any argument. When I am not passing any argument, student will think that no arguments is required according to functional programming. But according to object-oriented programming, S1 dot get student data. Again, I am repeating. Get student data called with respect to S1. S1 is an object of student. PVM is ready to go to student. While going, it receive the address of what? S1. Put it into the first parameter of what? Get student data. So self contains whose address? S1. So inside the instance method, am I taking instance data members or not? So they are going to contain what? SNO colon 10, name colon what? RS, for example, marks colon what? 4.5. This is the significance of what? Reading the data. For which object? S1. S1. Go to next one more object I am going to take. What is the next object? S2. S2 dot what again? Take the flow. Get student data. Get student data called with respect to S2. S2 is an object of student. Control goes to student. While it is going, it carry the address of what? XXX567. It is carried and put it into get student data into self. Self contains now which object? S2. Earlier it was containing an address of what? S1. Now self contains an address of what now? S2. Self is containing the address of which object? Current object. What is my current object? S2. So self dot, self dot, self dot. Who is that self? S1 na? S2 ah? S2. Which contains, here I am going to write it. SNO. Here SNO colon some value called 20. Next is called a name colon TR. Next is called what? Marks colon what? Something like 6.7. Are you able to follow? So this is related to the way of reading. It is also nothing but as a student data, you cannot go for writing your own data. You are taking three means only three you can write it. But through an object, if you go S1 dot number, S1 dot name, S1 dot marks, you can take it. Here S2 dot number, S2 dot name, S2 dot marks, S2 dot address also you can take. But in the common method, what you can do, you can restrict the programmer not to take any extra data member. You can take only what? The specified number of data members only you can take it. Are you following me? So Sai Kumar, yesterday you asked some small question, ma. How do you restrict it? Now you understood. Is it clear? So after entering these three, if you want anything extra, you can add specially by going for S1 dot address, S2 dot city, like that, S2 dot university, S2 dot college address, like that you can take extra. So Python provides both a dynamism as well as restrictness also it can provide. So I think you are following me. Did you understand, students? Palakanda Miro. Right. What is self? Now tell me what is the self? ఇంగ్లీష్ లో కూడా అనుకోండి వాట్ ఈజ్ సెల్ఫ్ సెల్ఫ్ అంటే నేను యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ అదర్స్ దెమ్ సెల్ఫ్ సెల్ఫ్ అంటే పర్టికులర్ సెల్ఫ్ మీన్స్ పర్టికులర్ ఇఫ్ యు నో జావా ఇన్ జావా దెర్ ఇస్ అ దిస్ డూ నో దిస్ డో నో దిస్ దట్ డో నో డూ యు నో ఇంగ్లీష్ ఏమి అట్లా చూస్తారు అంత భయం ఎందుకు అసలు డూ యు నో దిస్ దిస్ డో నో డో నో దిస్ వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ డో నో దిస్ మీనింగ్ తెలుగు స్టూడెంట్ ఎవరు ఇక్కడ హూ ఇస్ తెలుగు స్టూడెంట్ ఇయర్ మనోడు ఉన్నాడు కదా మనోడు తెలుగు స్టూడెంట్ లే మనోలే పిల్లర్ అడ్జస్టెంట్ కూర్చుని ఆయన లే దిస్ తెలుగులో మీనింగ్ ఏంటి బటన్ పెట్టుకో చెప్పు ఎప్పుడు హ్యాపీగా ఉంటావు చాలా నాకు కూడా బాగా అనిపిస్తుంది నేను కూడా అట్లే ఉండాలనుకుంటే ఎప్పుడు హ్యాపీగా ఉంటావు రిలాక్స్ గా ఉంటావు గుడ్ గర్ల్స్ కూడా చూస్తున్నారు ఎవరు ఉంటారు అబ్బా ఇట్లా అని. ఈ రోజుల్లో రిలాక్స్ గా ఉండాలంటే చాలా కష్టం అసలు నేను కూడా ట్రై చేస్తా ఐ విల్ ఆల్సో ట్రై టు బి రిలాక్స్ బట్ వెన్ మై క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్స్ నా ఐ విల్ గెట్ బీపీ because you don't answer I will get demoralized. I want to be actually I will be so relaxed, but when my class is in progress automatically that tension will start because you don't answer. To make me too happy and relax, students hands లో ఉంటది, it is there in the hands of the students. Tell me దిశలో తెలుగు ఎందుకు ఇట్లా కట్టుకుంటావు అప్పుడే నాకు టెన్షన్ వస్తుంది మళ్ళా. When you are folding the hand means you are not going to answer. సింపుల్ ఇండికేషన్. స్టాండ్ లైక్ అన్ ఇండియన్ ఆర్మీ. అట్లా చెప్పు. వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్? మీరా? దిస్ అంటే మీరా? యు అంటే మీరు. దిస్ అంటే దిస్. దిస్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దిస్ ఈస్ పెన్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దిస్ ఈస్ పెన్. దిస్ ఈజ్ పెన్. దిస్ మీన్స్ ఇంగ్లీష్ ఆల్సో డోంట్ నో. వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్? ఇది ఏమి? వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్? దిస్ మీన్స్ వాట్? ఇది. ఏది? ఇది కాదా మొద్దు. పెన్. వాట్ ఈస్ పెన్? ఆబ్జెక్ట్. నవ్వడం కాదు, వినడే. 32 పళ్ళు కనిపిస్తున్నాయి. వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్? ఆబ్జెక్ట్. దిస్ ఇస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. పి ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు పెన్ ఆఫ్. దిస్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ పి ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు, చదువుకుందాంలే ఎప్పుడు నవ్వుకోవడం. పి ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు పెన్ ఆఫ్. వాట్ ఈస్ పి? ఆబ్జెక్ట్. దిస్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ అన్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. Online students, this is called an object. Who is pointing to this P? This, this. So this is going to be known as what? This is known as what? Physical object. To this physical object, internally one more object is pointing. That is called what? This. In Java, we will use this. In Python, we will use self. Sure. So Python, we will use self. In Java, we will use this. What is this in Java? BTech is completed. In Python, we will use what? Self. What is a self? Self is one of the implicit object. Spell out. Self is one of the implicit object which contains an address of each object, current object. Self is what? The implicit object which contains what? Current object address. That is nothing but it is known as what? Referenced variable we can call. Reference means what? Address. Which reference? Current object reference. Current object reference. Right? When you are going on the way, hot summer, when you are going on the way, your shadow is also there or not? What you will say? This is my shadow, you will say or not? Shadow is nothing but what? Another object of your physical object. You are called what? Physical object. To your physical object, one more kind of shadow object will be there or not? Yes. The type of physical object is known as what? Physical object is pointed by name S1, S2, S3. Internally to S1, S2, S3, etc. There is one more implicit object also pointing. In Python, who is pointing to implicit object? Self. In Java, pointed to what? This. In some other language, something will be there. Understand? So coming to the point back, self is nothing but which data member related? Instance data member related. Now I'm going to write one simple example here. Let us watch this. Online students, did you understand the first meaning of self, student? I will go to the practical example first. Let me go to the first example. Here I am going to write it. So here I am going to write instance method. Instance method example1.py. Instance method example1.py. So here I am going to write it. Program for demonstrating instance method. Let me show you first. See students, class, some sample. Okay, student, student you take it. Student, I will take it as a pass. I will create two objects. I will create. S1 is equal to student of. S2 is equal to student of. Okay, two objects are created. What is an ID of it? ID of S1, ID of S1 in main program. In main program is equal to, how do you print ID ma? ID of S1. ID of S2 is equal to what? ID of S2 is equal to what? ID of S2. Which program this is? Main program. Correct? Well, now here you keep it. This is called a main program related. Two objects created, and this is the one of the thing. Now I am going to call s1 dot get stud data. For example, what is an error will come now? What is an error will come? Attribute error will come. How the flow will be? Get student data is a method called with respect to S1. S1 is an object of student, goes to student class, looking for the method called what? Get student data. Do you have there? No, it will give you which error? Attribute error. So you need to know the error name perfectly. Attribute error. What is that error name? Student object has no attribute called get student data. So how do you do now? How do you do this then? S1 dot get student data. It will go to the student class. Now I will refer. Can I write this now? DEF. Come on, what is this now? Get student data. STUD data. STUD data. STUD data. Okay. Data of self. Automatically self is coming, you see? Getting my point? Yes. There I will write it. Get STUD data. Get STUD data. Okay. Then inside of it, I am printing a reference or what? Address of which object? Current object. Current object is equal to, come on, what I will write? ID of what? Come on. S1. ఎవరు చెప్పింది S1? అందరు గర్ల్స్ చెప్పారు S1 అని. S1 you said. Correct? When I write S1, what will happen? S1 address only will print. ఇక్కడ చూడండి. కొద్దిగా ఆలోచించాలమ్మా మీరు. బాయ్స్ ఏంటి ఇప్పుడు వెళ్ళి బయట పంపించగలను. సో ఐడి ఆఫ్ S1 యూ సి S2 I సెట్. ఇక్కడ కొద్దిగా ఆలోచించాలి బాగా. సో యూ జస్ట్ ఆన్సర్ ఇట్. వెన్ యూ సే దిస్ S1, you keep it comment here. You keep it comment here. Just execute. S1 ID is coming okay. So you are getting both the IDs are same. ID of S1 in the main program. ID of current object also same address is there. Very good. Now I am going to take up. You please observe it. When I am removing this one and removing this one, that time you will get what? This is a different address, but you are getting the same answer for S1 only coming or not? Is it wrong now? So S2 address I want or not? What is an S2 address? Will you write S2 here? Will you write S2? If I write S2, what will happen? This S2 address is coming here. This S2 address is coming. This is not coming. Then who is the common friend of S1 and S2? Come on. Self. So S1 address is there in self. S2 address is there in self. Better to write what? Come on. Self I need to write. Self I need to write. So that is what you must be so careful enough. Now you observe it. Now see perfect output will be coming. So 4240, 4240 to the time of S1 dot. To the time of S2 dot 2640, 2640. So hence it is proved that self contains which address? Current object address. Is this is clear? Now? Right, online students. Now I am writing the first sentence here. Here, first point I am writing here. Self is one of the implicit object. Implicit object. Most of the people will tell it is a keyword. They will say, is it a keyword? The blunder. In the keywords list, self is not there. If you go to Python students, I said you in the earlier also, keyword as k dot kw list. If you see, there is no keyword called what? Self. There was no such keyword called self here. There is no such keyword called what? Self. There is no keyword is existing called self here. Go to back to this place. Here there is no such keyword called self, because you see self is equal to 2013 also I can write. No problem. Self I wrote it. So see that Answer 13. Self is not a keyword, but the international rule says that use self there. You can write here my name also, I can write, no problem. Here I can write my name also, no problem. And what is this is going to be? How it is going to be? S1 dot get data. S1 address kept in where? KVR. KVR address and S1 is same at that time. When you go to S2 here, when I go to S2 here, S2 address is there in KVR. S2 address and this KVR is going to be same. But that first positional parameter, you can write anything according to the international rules of Python. They asked us to write which one? Self. See that now? Is it the same address is coming or not? So is it mandatory to write the name as self only every time? No, but you are recommended to write self only. Are you following? In Telangana state, left hand side going vehicle, in Madhya Pradesh, right side going is not going to be something like that. They gone for what? Uniform rules or not? Something like that. They decided to tell in the instance method, they asked us to take it what keyword, what type of letter, what type of word, self they are decided to take. I hope you are going to follow me. So is it mandatory to write the name as self only? Can you write any name? Any name I can write. But rule says that write what? Self. Yourself, myself, all of them should be written only self only. I hope it is more clear. Shall I move to the further? Right. Now I'm going to write it. One more thing is an implicit object which contains, tell me, which contains address of address or what? Reference. Reference of which object? Current object. Current object. That's the first point. You have to tell in interview point of view. And what is the next one? Here, self to be used as what? To be used as which parameter? First positional parameter. First positional, positional formal parameter. First positional formal parameter. First positional formal parameter inside of in which method? In which method? Instance method. Okay. Third point I am writing. Since since self since self is one of the first positional formal parameter in instance method. Hence, we can access where self inside of inside of corresponding corresponding instance method body only. Instance method body only. Method body only. But not possible. But not possible to access in other part of the program. In other part of the program. This is not a new point today. This is not a new point. It was covered when you are in fifth class only. Which point? Seventh point is covered. Seventh point in the method definition. చూపిస్తాను ఒకసారి 11 a.m. go to functions, sweet memories of our subject. మీకు ఏం గుర్తులేదు అది. Go to paint. సెవెంత్ పాయింట్ అని ఒకటి ఉంటుంది ఇక్కడ. The values of formal parameters to the local variables can be accessed only inside the corresponding method function definition, but not possible to access in other part of the program. Other function definitions not possible to access. That was already completed in our previous topics. That part we are going to access here. Is it clear? That is about the points to be remembered about what? Self. Online students, is it clear about self? So, don't if you go to interview tomorrow, what is self? Don't ask. So are you asking myself, Anagod? You don't tell about yourself. I am so and so. I completed B.Tech. I am this one. I am that one. I played chess in my college. Tournament I played. The story you don't tell. Understand the subject. What is self? You need to ask. Are you asking? Python related self, or you are asking something. So if you are say self, you need to tell this self. Self is a keyword. No, self is one of the variable name after all. It is a rule of internationalization. That is about self. Go to the reading data. Reading the data. This I made you to understand the self related activity. Go to this place. Here I am going to write it 2.py. 2.py. So I'm going to start with. So what is this as happening? Carry this. So I'm going to enter into this 2.py. 2.py. This part, anyhow, you understood. Now I'm going to take which one? S1 dot get student data. Now I want to write it inside of that. Come on. Self dot SNO is equal to enter student number. Next, self dot. What next? Name. Enter student name. Self dot marks is equal to enter student marks. Understand this? Similarly, go to where second student data also s2 dot get student data. It will go to the same, asking the same mechanism or not. But when this is going, I supposed to ask you enter first student data, second student data, third student data like that. I want to ask. For that, if you are understanding, already we are good at the functions. I will pass one argument here. What is that? First, what is the first? Argument. So how it is going? When it is going to the method of which class? Student class, it is carrying two things. One is this S1 and first. S1 is stored in where? So first is supposed to store it into one formal parameter or not? That formal parameter is object info. Object info. When you come to the second here, I'm going to enter into where? Second. That time I will go to this place. What is this now? Print of enter. I'll say here object object information of obj info in this backslash team backslash t backslash t. Okay, let us start running this code now. So powerful. Let us run this code. First student data here. Enter the first student data 100. Enter the second student data marks 22.22. See, are you seeing this now? This is the second student data 200. Next name, something like this I am entering. Something like 55.55. I got this data. So I want to print this data. How do you print this data? Earlier, I was printed this data by using what? You see, I was printed this one by using what? Here, I printed with this three statements. I wrote three statements to print it. If it is a 10 thing, 10 objects, 30 lines of code I need to write. How do you reduce that? Through method I can print. How many times? Three lines I will write. I will call again and again. That is the methods will reduce my redundancy. I will go to this place now. So here I'm going to take up this kind of things. I'm going to take it. Instance method 2.py. Today I'm going to define def display. What is this? Student data of self. There I will print. What I will print? Student number. How do you print the student number? Self.sno, student name, self.name, student marks, self.marks. What is the self? Current object data. Which class object data? Student class object data. The total, see whether the student knows whoops or not. First testing point is self. Okay, definition of class, self. If you know both these two things, self, object, CLS, class definition. If you know that student is eligible to appear for the OOPS interview round. If you come to my interview, first question I will ask you, what is self? Self is a keyword that candidate will say, I will understand that you don't know anything. Okay, question level. What is self? If you tell that 3 points, na, you are powerful candidate. What is the class? Class is a collection of objects, na? Is Shankar the MBBS only. What is a class? A class is a collection of data members, methods, constructors, destructor. How many types of data members? Class level, instance. How many types of methods? Instance, class level method. So I want to display. Come on, display the data now. S1 dot, S1 dot display student data. Next, I will do what? S2 dot display student data. While I am displaying, while I am displaying, I will go for this place and I will go to S2 dot student data like this. While displaying, I will pass it as which parameter? First, and here I will pass it as what? Second. When it goes to this place, I will print it. What is that now printing? What is this now? I will write it object information, object information. Here I will take it obj info. Why? This is the one s1 dot. S1 address kept into where? Self. That first is coming here and it is getting printed. First student object information, first object information, second object information, like that you will get it. Now I'm running my code. Please observe. So I'm writing 100. So I'm going to write the something like, I'm writing RS. Now I'm going to write 3.4. I'm writing 200 here. I'm writing TR and 5.6. You see, RS object information, something wrong is going. So I need to write what? OBJ info. OBJ info. OBJ info I need to write. Self dot no. It is going to be simply called formal parameter only now. Like this I need to write. Let us run this code. Here I am going to write it. 100 here, something like a Sandhya, and I will write 16.66. And the student is called like this, Aniket, Aniket, and say something like 66.67. So got it. So the first object data, second object data also we got it. This is the simplest mechanism for how to read the data. You go for third object you create, fourth object you create, number of objects we are creating. But how many times I am writing my reading my data? 3 lines only I am writing. Are you following? So code redundancy is reduced by using which concept? Which concept? By using methods. So these methods are doing what operation? Particular operation, a common operation. Particular operation. That is for S1 reading. That is different. S2 reading, different. S1 data reading is completely different from S2 reading. So they are not common. Reading is common, but the data I'm talking about. When I'm reading the data for you, when I'm reading the data somebody else, both the data is different. Reading process is same, but the values are different. Getting my point? Yes. So coming to the point back, S1 dot, S2 dot reading the data and S2 dot reading the data, displaying the data and then doing. I hope that this is clear for you. Similarly, I will go for one more type of method. Which level method I will take? Class level method I am going to introduce. Class level methods. You just go to once here instance method. Instance methods are doing what? Specific operations. Data members of an object called with respect to this one. Self is taking. You have seen self and list of formal parameters also you have seen. Block of statements written reading the data and you specified instance methods inside the instance method. Yesterday's class when you come back, you are going to get it inside of which method? Instance method. Instance data members are specified inside of which method? Instance method. Is it specified inside the class or not? Yes. So I mentioned it. I mentioned inside of that self dot etc. The way how I was accessed the instance data members with respect to what? Self dot name, self dot name, self dot number, self dot marks. Yesterday's class. Yesterday. Instance data members. How I was accessed? Self dot. Where? Inside the instance method only. You cannot access from outside because the self is going to be the first positional parameter. You cannot access the formal parameters outside the function, right or not? Same thing applicable here. Similarly, come to the next moment. Here also, one more example I want to tell you on this area. See, students, here I'm going to enter into this place here 3.py, 3.py. Now I'm going to take it. Students, my interest is whenever I read the first object data, whenever I read the first object data, here you observe it. Remove this entire thing. The moment when I read the first object data, immediately I want to display student. Immediately I want to display student data. Display student data. I want to read. Immediately I want to display. I want to read. Immediately I want to display. How do you do that? Look at here. I'm going to say 100, something like Srinivas. I will take and I'll take it as 44.44. Immediately that object data displayed or not. Similarly, instead of doing this S1 dot get student data, S1 dot get student data from main program, you can do in another way. How do you do? When you say S1 dot get student data, it will go to where? Which data? Get student data. Get student data is which method? Instance method. That instance method want to call instance method of same class. Are you following? How I was called instance method here? S1 dot, S1 dot. How do you call the instance method from this instance method? Object name. Who is pointing to the object? Madhu. Self. So self dot. What is the method name? Display student data of what? Obj info. Come on. This self is pointing to self. Self means current object address is there in self. Obj info pointing to this obj info. This is called calling the instance method. Calling instance method. How I am calling instance method? With respect to what? Self. Inside of which method? Instance method only. ఇక్కడ చూడండి. Self dot instance method name. To be used inside of instance method only. చాలా important ఇవి. There are so many rules are there. These rules if you remember, you know, oops. So execute now. Execute now. Go to the place 1000 KVR. I'm going to take something like this. I'm getting the data immediately displayed or not. This is the way reading as well as what? Displaying. Similarly, I want to read which data again? Which data I want to read? S2 dot I want to go for it. S2 dot. Come on. S2 dot. This is which data? Second. Second student data you are going to call. Execute this. Say here 100. Something like Rudra Prakash. So Rudra Prakash. I'm going to write it. Say marks is called 7.8. Now Rudra Prakash data printed. I say 200. I say KVR. I say 2.5. I got my data once again. The main point behind is called what? One instance method can call another instance method of which class? Same class. Got it? There are a lot of rules. Object calling, one method. Self dot calling is another method. Are you following this? So, coming to the point back. While I'm explaining, listen the class. Don't try to bend your head. Don't sit like a yogi Vemana. Okay? If you become a yogi Vemana, you have to write Vemana poems. Okay? Try to follow carefully. And Bilson still is sitting like that. Stand up. First class, huh? Is it our first class? Are you my student? I'm not seeing you anytime. Is it coming first time? I'm not seeing you. Daily coming. Yesterday you came. Day before yesterday. What I taught day before yesterday. Huh? Loops. Oops. Loops. Loops. Oops. Oops. What is the oops? What are the advantages of oops? Listen, when I'm explaining, listen. When I'm explaining, you are sitting like a yogi Vamana like this. Like this, you are sitting. Yogi Vamana only Telugu states people knows. North students don't know because he's a Telugu poet. Do you know? Don't know, na? So listen the class. And your friend, you are asking time. You are asking, I think so. You want the time? You want to go anywhere? Then come here. Bring your books. Complete books. You bring it. Bring chair also. Bring chair also. Come. Don't waste my time. Time is very important for me. Fast. Sit there. Sit there. Why you will sit that side? Any Ashtavadhanam you are doing? Sit that side. Move this side. Mm. Listen the class. Keep your bag there. Mm. Mm. Listen. Comfortable. Not comfortable, I think so. You move forward. Then you will be comfortable. Move forward. Move forward. Comfortable. Okay. Now listen. Still not comfortable? Comfortable. Now next step you will come. Comfortable. Okay. So are you comfortable? You are comfortable. Watch also. For him. For him you are watching. He is asking time. Why? Both of you want to go somewhere. Then why you are telling the time to him? Suppose if somebody will ask me at the time, I'll say you by the time I say. So listen the class. Now I'll go to, because it is not a college. When sir is explaining when to run away, that is not the way. Because that is a blackboard, white chalk piece. In Amirpet institutes, whiteboard, blue marker. అక్కడ blackboard, white chalk piece. Here, whiteboard, blue marker. రెండు ప్రాబ్లమే. Blackboard, white chalk piece dust will come. Problem in the intestines. Here, Amirpet high tech. Whiteboard, blue marker. That is called ink. Ink is very danger. You are eating outside na jalebi in papers, samosa in papers, eating like anything. And they don't know that letters are there in the newspaper. That letter is a chemical. When it goes inside is the problem. Correct? So that's why what is the most important? Python. Eating Python always is more important. Time, watch, these are all not good. Okay? Okay. What is self? Self. What is self? Stand up once. What is self? Hmm? See on the board. Self is there? There or not there? There. Tell me what is self? Sit down. So come to the point back. So once we do certain thing, you have to immediately think what is the benefit for me. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఉన్నాను అనుకోండి. I will think immediately. If I do something, I will think what is the benefit for me. Suppose if I eat something, in what way I'm getting benefit from my that eating. Correct or not? If I read something, what is the benefit for me if I read? If I do certain activity, I have to think immediately, what is the benefit for me if I do that? If no benefit, I don't do it. If it is a benefit, I will do it. Correct or not? Because life is short. 50 years already reserved for what? Sleeping. 50 years. Already 23 years అయిపోయింది. ఇంకెంత ఉంది? 27 years. And 3-4 years for eating. 2-3 years for traveling. ఇంకా రిమైనింగ్ how many? 25 years. 25 years జాబ్ ఎప్పుడు రావాలి? When do you buy the car? When to get job? When do you become more crores of rupees, how do you earn it? Correct or not? That's why life is very short. You utilize all the times, learn Python quickly, do the job quickly. Okay, now. Okay. So understand what is self. So now coming to the point back. Is it clear? Now I will enter into online students. Now I am entering into the hmm, what is this now? Loops, whoops. Come to the point back. Now I will go to now I will go to next example called what? Class level method I am going to introduce. Let us go to the class level method. Now I am going to enter. Now I am going to enter. So I am going to enter as what? Class level method. Class level method. Example 1.py. Class level method example 1.py. So there I am going to write it. Program for program for demonstrating the class level method. Class level methods are for what? Providing what values? Common values. Supplying the common value. This is through an operation I want to do. Class through a student I will do. There I am going to write it. Students. Earlier what we used to do? CRS is equal to Python we used to do, right? This is called which level data member? Class level data member. We can provide the class level data members through which method also? Through method also you can do. Which method that is? Class level method. Why it will provide which values? Common values. So how do you do that? At the rate, come on, class method. I will do DA get CRS. CRS. CRS means what here? Course. I say CLS. Automatically CLS is coming. What is CLS? Which is also called an implicit variable name, which contains class name. Class name will be presenting. Where it is containing self contains what? Current class object address is present. But CLS contains what? Current class name. What is my current class name? Student. So student to CLS. In this case, both of them are similar. So what I will do? CLS dot CRS is equal to Python. Are you following? You can also write the same thing as what, mom? You can also write the same thing as what? Student dot CRS is also called what? Python. Both of them are which data members only? Class level data members only. CLS dot what? City is equal to what? Hyderabad. For example, you can also write the same thing as what? Hmm. Student dot student dot CRS is equal to city is equal to what is this? HUID, I can write it. Okay, these are called what? Class level data member. Come to this place now, students. Main program you see. Here I am writing S1 is equal to what? Student of. So print of S dot underscore underscore dict. Yesterday's class. What is the values present in that? Do you have any class level data members as a part of object? No. So it is going to be nothing is there, empty curly braces will be opening. What is the length of that? What is the length, mom? What is the length? Come on, zero, zero. No values are there. No values are there. Now, I want to get the class level data members to have the activity. I want to activate them. So I need to call this method or not? Which method? Class level method. How do you call class level method? Through the class name. Because it is providing the common values are providing. So here I mentioned it. All the class level methods must be accessed with respect to what name? Class name dot class level method name. How do you call it? Student dot get CRS. This is called calling which method? Class level method. Once you call the class level method, these things creates the memory space one time. Though I created, no length is available. They are not available as a part of object. Come on, how do you print? Print of student course. Student course is equal to comma s dot CRS. Sorry, s dot student dot CRS. Student dot CRS. Next is called what? Student. Student city is equal to student city. I will write it. Student city. I will write it. Are you following me? Got it. Are you getting or not? And class level data members are common for all objects also. When you go to very deep of it, students, very deep if you go, very deep if you go, you can access them through an object also, student. You can access through an object also. Why? Because they are common for all the objects. Yes, sir. Dot CRS you can say. Yes, sir. Dot city also you can say. Why? They are common for all objects. See, answer is coming. Don't get confused. These are all number of ways to access. Actually, object dot means what? There are instance. How many number of values are there in that? See, content of content of yes object is equal to what I am writing? Yes dot underscore underscore dict. But no data inside. No data inside. But I'm accessing through an object or not. That means they are going to be for your object, for my object, for all the objects. What is the common data? CRS and city. So I can access through an object also. Are you following? CM of the state is called like a class level data member. Every citizen of the state can be called your name dot CM. That means CM of the current state will come. State dot CM also will give you the CM name only. Got it? Huh? Every citizen name dot CM will give you the CM name only. State dot CM name also will give you the CM name only. What is the state class? Who are the people in the state? Citizens of the state. Got it? Huh? Hmm. Right, got it. Online students, now I got it. How I called like this. One more example I want to tell. Sir, I called with respect to this one. Can you call the another way? So I will go to the next one, 2.py. 2.py. Students, you try to access here. In this case, you see, sir, class level method one, you define one more thing at the rate class method, define in some other way, DER, get city, CLS. Sir, in place of CLS, can I write my name? No problem. You can write your name. No issue about it. But KVR is containing what? Student only, class level data member only. Come on, get a CRS. What will be coming? Only CRS is coming, but get city you are not getting. You will get error here. City related error will be coming. See that you are getting only course is coming, but city is attribute error is coming. City you are not getting. Why? City you did not call now. Come on. So how do you call now? How do you call now? You are supposed to call. Come on. Student dot city. Get a city. Get a city. So you are getting that thing and all of them are getting executed. Students, if you follow me, you are calling okay, nice. But get a city. I don't want to call from here. From where I want to call? From here. So student got to get CRS. Class level method I called. Through class level method, I am calling another class level method. How do I call? CLS dot get a city. Calling, calling class level method. Class level method of which class? Of which class? Same class. Same class. Execute now. Perfect answer is coming. Getting or not? Yes. But you cannot call from here. CLS you cannot call. Why? CLS is not is a first positional formal parameter. You cannot call like that. So you are getting CLS is not defined. So better to go for what instead of writing some other name, better to go for international rule called what? CLS. We have seen already the libraries, CLS related methods are not at all available most of the time. 99% of the time you have self-related methods only, not containing other kind of things. I hope you are getting me this kind of thing. Are you getting me? This you can call other way also. This you can call in another way. Instead of CLS dot, you can also call it as what? What you can call? Student dot get city. Like this also you can call. Like this also you can call. Execute that. Now you got the output. How to call the class level methods you understood. Now I am going to enter into further. Online students, while explaining these OOPS rules now, students should have a lot of concentration. While I am explaining, if you are not able to concentrate, you'll get OOPS is out. And understanding OOPS require a lot of concentration, lot of practicing. Online students, is it clear? This is called calling which method? Class level method. How class level method is calling another class level method? How instance method is calling another class level instance method? We call CLS dot what? Class level method name. To be used inside of which level method only? Class level method name only. You cannot use outside. So what is a CLS? Now I am going to write it. Here I wrote some information. Now I will write it. What is the CLS here? I am writing here. Here, come on. CLS is one of the implicit variable name. Implicit variable name, which contains not address, which contains current class name. Current class name. Current class name is available here. Here, CLS to be used as first positional parameter in which level method? Class level method. Class level method. Class level method you need to use. Next one here, since CLS is one of the first positional formal parameter in which method? Class level method. Here I am writing class level method. Here I am writing. Hence, we can access CLS inside of corresponding which method? Class level method. Class level method only, but not possible to access in other part of the program. That is called as CLS. If somebody asks what is CLS class, if you answer your own thing, it will be a problem. What is CLS? I said the perfect answer. I said what is self? I said the perfect answer for you. Method is also clear. I think it is more clear for you. So at this point of time, this methods you got it. Go to next one I'm going to take up. The same mechanism, I will take it. Instance method 3 is there now. This instance method 3 is there now. I will take this instance method plus class level method, both of them I want to carry. So I'm going to take instance class level method. Class level method example.py. So let me carry this. There I'm going to write it. Inside of it, I will try to carry. This logic I will carry. This logic I will carry. So try to follow. Along with that, I am trying to write which methods? Class level methods also I will write. ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాయి కదా మన class level methods. So class level method example 1 here. Class level method examples I will carry. These methods I will carry. So you try to post it over here. Start here. What is this now? Come on here. Here you are going to call S1 dot get student data. It will go to get student data. Printing what? This is calling. Here I want to print what? Print of, come on, backslash team, student, student, come on, course is equal to, comma, student dot, student dot, I'm going to write CRS. Valid or invalid? First I'm asking the question. Student city, student city, student dot what? City. Valid or invalid? First of all, tell me. Observe the code. These are the methods. These are the method. Online students. These are the class level methods. These are the instance methods. I am created two objects. Done. Done. First object calling immediately this one. In the display time, first one, you are printing CRS and city. Will the Python and Hyderabad will be printed or not? Printed or not? Come on, printed or will not print up? Print up will not print up. Will print. Okay, what about boys? Will print up, will not print up? Will print. Girls will print up, will not print up? చెప్పండమ్మా తెలియదా? విల్ ప్రింటా, విల్ నాట్ ప్రింటా ఆర్ డోంట్ నోనా? డోంట్ నో. ఏం తెలుసు మళ్ళీ మనకు? సో విల్ నాట్ ప్రింట్, ఇట్ విల్ గివ్ యూ ఎర్రర్. అట్రిబ్యూట్ ఎర్రర్ విల్ కమ్. వై అట్రిబ్యూట్ ఎర్రర్ విల్ కమ్? Sir, you are calling only instance method. You are calling instance method here, but student.crs, student.ct are the class level data members, but you are not calling class level method anywhere. So how can you execute that? You execute it and see this 100 here, RS here, 1.2 here, got an error. Type object has no, student object has no attribute called CRS. కొద్దిగా ఆలోచించాలి కోడింగ్ లో. దెన్ వాట్ టు డూ? వాట్ టు డూ? నౌ ఇన్ ద డిస్ప్లే స్టూడెంట్ టైమ్ ఐ మస్ట్ కాల్ వాట్? Get CRS. Get CRS is which method? How do you call? Class name dot. చెప్పాను కదా ఆల్రెడీ. Get CRS. Calling. Which method? Calling. Which level method? Class level method. Class level method. That means one instance method is calling the class level method of this one. Of course, get course is internally calling what? City. Automatically CRS will come and city will come. That will give you perfect output. So, చదువుకోవాలి మీరు. సో ఇంకా చిన్న పిల్లల్లాగా ఉంటే ఎట్లా? CRS 1.2 got an output 200 TR and you are getting marks is called 6.7. So got an output. Python and HYD coming. Python and HYD is also coming. So this will make you to understand this is an instance method calling the class level method with respect to the class name. Can I use any here self? Can I use any CLS here? Come on. No. No, we cannot use. Why? CLS is a first positional formal parameter. You cannot use it. You have to use the class name. That is an international rule here. I think you are following me. Right. And ఇంకా మీరు డీప్ వెళ్ళిపోతే you can call with respect to self also. Self also. As I already said to you, what is that? Earlier I called with respect to what? Object name dot class level data member. You can call like this also. You can see. I will enter 1000 KVR and I say 1.2 and I say this is an answer 2000 and next is called something like TR and 4.5. You got the output also. మీకు ఇన్ని రూల్స్ గుర్తుండో లేదో అని నేను చెప్పలేదు. But what is the international rule? Class name dot. If you remember, that is more than enough. Are you following me? So what are the rules you got it? How do you call instance method to instance method? Self dot. How do you call class method to class method? Class name dot CLS dot. How do you call instance method to instance method? Object name dot self dot. How instance method can call the class level method? Class name dot self dot. How the class level method will call the instance method? Through an object only. It cannot call through CLS dot. If you write CLS dot, it will give an error. You have to write through object name. So that object you have to create in the class and you have to call it. That is about which methods? Which methods? How do you call the methods? Are you following, students? Are you able to understand these examples? Now, next one, if you come to next part of it, online students, are you there? And you are getting, I know, confusion or getting the answers, I know, I don't know, but I'm explaining same day like every day. And you need to have the lot of skill set to understand and programming practicing required. And if we come back to this place, here I'm going to oops here. If I enter into our syntax, If you enter into our syntax, index of oops, if you take it, inside of it, we understood why class concept, data members you got it, methods you got it, and self and CLS you got it, object meaning you got it, how to create an object and how to call it. And next programming example, tomorrow, I will tell you pickling and unpickling, database communication through whoops, I will tell. Same concept only will continue. Class, instance method, class level method. Through what? Little more examples I will tell you in tomorrow class also. Tomorrow class also it will continue. So if you come to our classes concept, syntax for defining the class, open it now. I will go to show you class name, class level data member. In another way, defining the instance method. Today we understood this part. Today we understood the class level method also. This part I am not going to tell immediately. Tomorrow I will go to the more examples on what? Instance method and a class level method. So class contains data members we understood, methods we understood. Up to this part we got it. Clear up? Hmm. Yes. So more examples will be there on that in next class. Tomorrow class I will go for discussing. Okay now? Right. So I'll stop the class. It's almost 1 o'clock now. So I will stop it and tomorrow class will continue. Tell me, what is a self? What is self? Hmm. Come on, faster. Yesterday you attended? Yesterday. No. Attended online? Online. Yesterday what I taught? Data members. So self, tell me, what is a self? So, anyhow, so please refer the notes and come to the class. Practice this example. We'll stop the class.